Anyway, we're gonna go through some Reddit things. My list of rules for a Stoic life. A few years ago, I wrote down 2 handfuls of guiding principles or rules that would give me some kind of safety rails for life, something I could turn to when I was facing the frequent uncertainty of how to act in difficult situations, but also in a day-to-day existence. Most of what I wrote down were lessons I learned from reading Marcus and Seneca, but there was also inspiration from Miyamoto Musashi's Dokoto, where I got the idea to make a list and principles of Zen Buddhism that got thrown in there. I see. The first, to dedicate your life to something, even if it lacks meaning to others. Yes. Big yes. But I don't necessarily think and or get why it would be important that it makes sense to somebody else. I mean, there's a ton of things that I do that do not make any sense to some people. Also working out, by the way. Some people just don't like it. They don't think it is necessary, at least not in the way I'm doing it, and or for the reasons I'm doing it. I mean, back in the days, I was talking to a girl, and she said, well, she didn't say it like this, but this is the point. Working out for being able to eat more, and eating the things she likes to eat, which most often are unhealthy. I mean, this certainly makes sense, don't get me wrong, but no, this is not the reason why I'm doing it. There's other reasons that I may or may not know. Let's put it like that, I guess. As dumb as it may sound, but, well, what is my reason for workout? I like the look of it. I'm not willing to bullshit you with anything and be like, oh, I just want to be healthy and whatnot. No. I like being buff. I like just, having a strong body. This is something that I enjoy having. This is something that I think is aesthetic. I like the look of it. But of course, it is also healthy. It is tremendous for my mental health. As I've seen over the years, I've seen over the past months, especially, probably one of the best things that I do on a daily basis and that I stick to. As I've actually realized yesterday, I do have kind of forgotten about meditation. I still do it, but I do it not nearly to the extent. Could you please shut up? That I did before, Anyway, the second rule. The process is the goal. Every action, however seemingly meaningless, should be performed with great care. You're building your own temple. Chop wood, carry water. Nature has given you emotions so that they can be of use to you, so observe them and let only those come to the surface that are of service to you. Which I think is a really good one, easily said, but this is just gonna take a ton of practice and a ton of commitment and abilities, because, I don't know, I'm not always able to only show those emotions that are of use to me. I am pretty prone. Do I want to say prone? I don't know. To hatred, unfortunately, but I mean, it is what it is. Can't do too much about that. Take care of your body and your mind, for the body is your vessel and your mind its operator. Do not be aroused by distressing events or by other people's actions and treatment of you, for you cannot change them, but to care deeply about how you respond and how you treat them. Important fact, just period. Treat people in the best way you possibly can, even if they may not be doing it themselves. Even if they may be treating you like a piece of shit, even if they may, I don't know what they may be doing, but if they're doing things that you would say are not right to be done, just especially then don't do what they're doing. There's also another quote, I can't give you the exact one, but not being like your enemy is the biggest kind of way to, or the best way to make them feel bad. You know what I mean. I know that you know what I mean because you're a smart ass person. Anyway. And to not attach yourself to material possessions and simple pleasures, and to not mourn the loss of them, to be as fulfilled living in a hut as in a place or palace, but to also recognize that abolishing material pleasures completely is not desirable, and to enjoy them disciplined moderation, which I think is a great addition to, I think, Stoicism per se, because they're always talking about pleasures and just not falling prone to them and stuff like that. But I think in the end, abandoning pleasures doesn't make sense at all. Like, why? What is the benefit of that? What is the benefit of just not having any pleasure in life? I think that we need to have a good balance in life, period. We need to have a good balance in life when it comes to pleasure, when it comes to everything that we are doing. And it is something that I had to learn the hard way by beating myself up physically and mentally, but most often physically, which is not good, period. Which is just not good. To be complete in yourself, to not depend on anyone for happiness or completion, which indeed as well is something that I needed to talk about back in the day. So I've also been talking about before, especially when it comes to just relationships, love relationships. You should not be in a love relationship just for the sake of being happy and or thinking that this is going to make you happy and or for thinking that it is going to complete you. It shouldn't. It shouldn't complete you. It shouldn't. Well, it should make you happy, and it should also, it shouldn't complete you, but it shouldn't make you necessarily happy. But it makes sense if it makes you happy, and it should make you happy, if you know what I mean. Like, you shouldn't just be in a relationship to be happier than you are at this point in time, If this is the case, you're doing things wrong. You should already be happy with yourself, with who you are, with what you do, and with how your life is. Period. End of the discussion, You shouldn't have to rely on other people to feel good, to be happy and whatnot. Being able to be alone and still be happy and still feel good is tremendous. And when I say tremendous, I mean tremendous. Very, 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 very important thing. To accept and understand, but not to succumb to your preconceived notions. To recognize the potential for goodness and evil in everyone as in yourself, which is, by the way, something that I've never heard anybody else saying and or writing about, which is quite interesting. I mean, there's so many people and so many threads. Well, not threads, but yeah, Reddit threads and articles and just mediums that I've been going through and that I've been reading, but nobody, maybe not in this way, maybe just in some other way. But the thing is, yes, I'd say so as well. And it is something that I've been trying to keep in mind, but also communicate to other people. I think also in my private life, so just, in person to person, because I think it is really indeed important. I mean, we all have good sides and we all have bad sides. If you see a very beautiful and good looking and whatever person, do not think that this person is not going to have bad habits. This person is not going to have bad feelings, I guess. But not only when it is a good looking person, but I think that one might be more leaning towards thinking that it is a good person just because of looks, which is kind of an overall illusion, I guess, and or making you think about the person in a different way in general. But just all people, all people. Like, we all have good sides and we all have bad sides. We all do shit, we all do good things. That's it. And one should see that. One should see both of them. And one should also believe that both of them are there. If you see a bad person, well, this bad person obviously also has good sides. Period. That's it. It's not only about the bad, it's not only about the shitty things about person and all people. There's also good things. There's a ton of good things if one tries to focus on them, if one tries to see them, if one's capable of just for one bit change your perception and your view and your perspective on life. If one has to think of the past or the future, it should be a deliberate practice. Otherwise, one should not dwell on what will or what has been and be present. Yes, I would say so as well. Which is a good thing, I'd say. But difficult, obviously. Very, very, very difficult. To not think about the past, to not think about the future. But in the end, why? Why would you? Why would you think about the future? Why would you think about the past? What's the benefit of doing so? Unless you can learn something from it, then it is something different, then it is something good and something amazing. But most often we just dwell, complain, whatever it might be. But this has actually been the list, and with the list ending, I'm also going to end the episode here. I wish you the best, and I dearly hope that you're going to feel well, that you're going to be well, that we're going to see you and see each other, hear each other the next time. With that being said, bye.